All right, folks, welcome to Support Adventures YouTube channel. My name is Eric. This is Alex, our contract manager.
How's it, guys?
Yeah, so basically we're gonna make a video about training techs and mistakes MSPs might make when training techs without a structured sort of like method of doing so.
Exactly. And look, it's very crucial. You get in a new hire, you're getting somebody on board. If they're gonna learn the bad habits off the start, that's just going to roll over into the whole career with your company. So yeah, it's crucial to have these steps in place and ultimately give your new hire the most successful opportunity that he can have.
A well-designed training plan is setting up your help desk for consistency, success in staffing, and basically making a great place to work for technicians and thus great service for clients.
Exactly.
So, number one, what is it?
Not having a written training plan.
Yeah, why would you not have a written training plan? Because why? Like, you just sit next to Alex and he knows everything, so I'm going to sit next to him and he'll teach me everything.
The problem is my bad habits are going to become your bad habits.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not optimal. Yes, you might have a really good tech that person can sit next to, but that tech might not be a great teacher.
And are they going to take notes? Are you going to check what notes they took? And like it's better if you can present them with the notes of like, this is what you're here to learn.
Exactly.
We'll let you shadow Bob a little bit, but only after you absorb these key concepts. Because Bob, he's a bit of a space cadet. He's our best tech, but he does things in random ways because of his ADHD and slight autism. And basically, you can learn a lot from Bob, but this is us, the company, giving you a written training plan so that you know the things that you need to know to do this job. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, write it down, right? Like, this is what you're judged by. This is like
what you're expected to know. Also with like achievable goals with deadlines. Say, cool, well, by the end of the week, we want you to know the system in our stack. And then on Friday, test them. See if they've been able to achieve that goal. And if they're stuck somewhere, ask them to take down notes so you can see where they get stuck and help them through it. Yeah.
So number two, test tickets. Not using test tickets is a really big mistake because you want to test people. Like lots of us techs learn by doing. And you want people who do that because they're going to do great work if they are the person who knows how to logically and intuitively figure out a system and create the results that are solving the problem, pleasing the client, so on and so forth. So test tickets, what they do is make it a challenge, hopefully in a good way, but like challenge them to sort of use the systems they need to do it. And using Google as their friend, your big friend Google, you can ask Google a lot of stuff these days. So it's how you ask Google or ChatGPT in this age as well. How you do that determines your success as a tech. So test tickets, like one would be log on to Bradford Law Firm's main server and take a screenshot of the uptime. So what do they have to do in the process of doing that?
Well, firstly, they have to follow the documentation correctly.
They have to know where the password is for the server, first of all. But first of all, they need to have a ticket.
Yes.
Know how to work a ticket. Write notes.
Yeah.
Log into the server through the RMM. Get the
navigate
password,
to the correct
credentials. Credentials. And then sort of once they're in the server, how do I get the uptime of the server? Where is that in the server thing? And from that, you can see what they're made of. You can teach them how to use your systems. I mean, it's like throwing a ball for a dog. They run after it. They'll jump over anything or run around anything they need to do it because they're focused on the ball. You're giving them a goal. You're giving them something they can achieve, and you're giving them motivation to do whatever they need to do to do it.
Yeah.
So.
And also, I mean, you can base these test tickets off real world tickets that they're going to experience on the daily basis. So it just prepares them for what they're going to experience in this career. And give them an opportunity to prove themselves before actually letting them access your clients' tickets that are coming in. Yeah.
Number three.
So set clear expectations initially. I mean, if they have a vague idea of what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to achieve it, they don't know what type of bar is set. They don't know how many hours they must log. They don't know what their ticket notes should look like. They're
How
gonna
the
live,
documentation should be curated and updated and
exactly. They're going to live in just, I would say, quite a anxiety-driven mindset because, I mean, at the end of the
likely
day,
depends. I mean, it depends on the environment. But
Yes.
once things get busy and balls start getting dropped, then it gets stressful. So
Yes,
by setting the expectations clear, then you sort of you make it clear when they're doing a good job. Then they won't fear doing a bad job.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like basically like set the goalposts so they know what they need to do to succeed in your organization to pull their weight on the team, and hopefully you're holding those other people on Helpdesk accountable to those standards as well,
Yes.
right? Because
Yeah.
otherwise, you know, if you're not holding the level three techs accountable for keeping good ticket notes, how are the level one techs supposed to replicate their fixes when the same issue comes in?
Yeah,
It's almost impossible without escalating, right?
exactly.
So expectations, this is how we as a system, as a help desk, as a company like to do things here. This is what keeps things moving smoothly, and we expect everybody to do this. And when you're training people, it's like, this is how, it's like, great, okay, all right, you know, I know what I have to do. I know what I'm being judged on, and I'm going to do my best to succeed in this role because I signed up for this. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Ultimately, they have a goal at the end of the day, and they can put in the steps, the right steps, or you can help them with the right steps to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
Cool. Going on to number 4, and quite a big one is to avoid tech universities.
Yeah.
I mean,
ConnectWise
Canada's
University.
known
Oh my God.
as
I
ConnectWise
remember the first
University.
time I got logged onto that thing, I was just like, oh, this is worse than school. You know, because I hated school. You know, I was like fixing computers, starting my own business when I was 15, figuring out my own stuff. To be talked to in this condescending voice and shown, now click here to do this, it's like, no, come on.
Ah,
It's obvious what the features in your like little thing are supposed to do. I don't need to watch this stuff.
exactly.
Just give me a test ticket. Come on. Just
Yeah.
like throw me a ball. Let me show you how I can catch it. I'll bring it back to you. You know, you'll see what I'm made of. I'm not going to sit here and watch this nonsense. And, you know, a lot of the time it has nothing to do with how you as a company are actually using ConnectWise.
Exactly.
The example. I don't know. It's been years since I even looked at it. I use ConnectWise every day. I've always been fine without it. I've written lots of documentation on how ConnectWise is supposed to be used for my own company and for other people's companies. And, you know, all of the features are not relevant to what you're doing. So why should people be going through all this sort of stuff in a way that doesn't suit their learning style? Because the best techs do not learn by being given instructions.
Exactly. I mean,
Guidelines are okay.
Yeah, yeah. But rather focus on actual resources that they can use and they can refer back to. No one wants to refer back to a ConnectWise University video if they're stuck on a ticket.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Rather give them actual resources, make your own videos, and then use that. When you're training up a new tech, record it, and then you could use that for all your new onboardings going forward, rather than relying on ConnectWise University.
I mean, yeah, I always like to say running an MSP or working in an MSP is not rocket science. Rocket science has much better standards and guidelines and safeties in place. You know, like, I'm pretty sure that when you're learning how to fly a rocket, they give you the information in a way that's very clear and relevant to what you're actually doing. ConnectWise University, and a lot of resources do not.
No.
And the whole landscape and tapestry of education has changed since Google became a thing. This century, we're absorbing information in a much different way. And especially as IT techs, we're not the type of people who are going to learn a list of things and random facts that have nothing to do with what we're doing. It's not going to work. So
Also, it's going to create boredom. And
training
if you're
plan,
bored,
expectations, guidelines, SOPs, those are all great. Tech universities, all this sort of stuff. And even a lot of these like, you know, credentials that you can get don't really help you on the job in a lot of concrete ways. If you don't know a bunch of obscure networking theory, not going to help you on the daily basis when your client's internet connection is down. solid troubleshooting and customer service will help you in that case.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the last thing?
Is making them feel a part of the team.
Feeling a part of the team, you know, like training people, especially remotely. We run into this a lot.
Yeah. It's a big sense of, if you have a culture of inclusion where people feel safe and they're not going to feel like, oh, if I have to escalate this issue, am I going to be met with a condescending tone? You'll often see techs getting disheartened, discouraged, kind of not enjoying what they're doing. And at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't enjoy what they're doing, they're not going to give 100%. They're going to look elsewhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not a good
You need to
culture
create
have.
an environment that's inclusive, where there's like, you know, an ebb and flow to the day, a little bit of chit chat, not just always straight to business, not treating them like a machine, like a sort of like human resource, as they call it. You know, make a nice team vibe where they're allowed to talk about what's going on in their life. They're
Yeah.
allowed to have a little chit chat with the clients, with them. You know, it's not all about all of the tickets. It's about the level of service and the vibe
Yes.
that you as a company are having inside, and how that will extend to your relationships with clients and vendors and everybody else, and just how that will, you know, make a premium service that people call you up and they go, wow, these people really care about
Exactly.
me and my tech,
Yeah.
about my job, about my work. They're advising me in a way that takes into account all of these things. And so you need to make your technicians, right from the training stage, feel like they're part of the team, that there's room for growth in their position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Big point there.
Yeah.
Room for growth. You need to have techs know that they put in the work and they learn new things, that they can grow in their position. No one wants to be stagnant for
You
the
should
rest
talk
of their
about
life.
that at least once a year with your techs.
Exactly.
Hopefully a little bit more, and you know, get training plans in place for ongoing development, as well as the initial training.
Exactly.
You know, like ongoing development is super important, because you want loyal people.
Yeah.
So you have to, loyalty to them actually involves you giving them a chance for career growth,
Exactly.
and being like connecting with them on a professional human being level.
Yeah.
You know, we're all here to follow the goals of the company, serve the clients, and do the best. And we should like each other doing it. You know, it shouldn't be office politics, people going against each other, and all this sort of stuff. Nah. That's that things can go toxic really fast, and
Very quickly.
Yeah, you need to watch out for the vibe in your company, and figure out, you know, what the vibe, what the values are, and make them feel a part of a team that embodies that without people sabotaging it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you focus on these points and many others, there's no reason why you won't get a great result. Yeah,
if you choose the right people.
if you choose the right people.
Now, at Support Adventure, we're finding the best people out of about 1,000 applicants a week that we find around the world. So much greater talent pool than your individual area there where your MSP is based. So if you want to see what the world has to offer, and people that you could bring in to a really good training plan, who will hopefully be in a really short time period doing great work for you and your clients, then let us know.
Yeah,
And
get in touch.
subscribe to our channel for more tips like this. And we'll catch you later.
Cool. Cheers, guys.